All right, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Camara Seals, and this is another edition of our noon webinar series. I hope everyone is doing well. It's a beautiful, hot day. I'm in Little Rock, and it's a beautiful, hot day. But we've got a real interesting session for you today. We're going to be talking about uh, our CFC quarterly meeting, which is Saturday, August the 2nd, Saturday, August the 2nd, at 11 o'clock at the state capitol. So we have with us on today's webinar our co-chairs. We have William Elamine and Felicia Perriton. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Y'all doing okay?
Yeah, doing
Definitely.
wonderful.
Good.
Yeah, doing well. It's very hot and sunny up here in Northwest Arkansas as well. So.
Yeah, that's right. Because you're in Fayetteville, and William, you're in Little Rock, right?
Yes, I'm trying to migrate this 105 heat index.
I know, right? At least we get to be inside. We get to be inside and do this webinar. But let me, before we get started, again, I want to thank everyone for joining us, and those who will see us later, welcome. Let me do a brief introduction for our guests on today. William Elamine is the Director of Safety and Security for the LRSD. He is co-chair of the Citizens First Congress, as well as co-chair for the Civil Rights and Election Reform Caucus. Felicia Perrotin. Did I get it right? Okay.
You're close. You're
I'm
close.
Felicia Perrotin. Now I'm gonna have her to pronounce it in a minute. So she is a member of AAUW Arkansas, an organization that focuses on economic security, education, and advocacy for women and girls. AAUW Arkansas is a longtime member of the Citizens First Congress and has been a champion of period poverty issues. Felicia is co-chair of the Citizens First Steering Committee and co-chair of the Economic Justice Caucus. So welcome to both of you. Y'all aren't guests because you all are part of the leadership of Citizens First Congress, but I say welcome because you are, I guess we can say, a guest on today's webinar. So, Felicia, pronounce your first and last name.
It's Felicia Perrotin.
Felicia Perrotin.
Yes.
Felicia Perrotin. Okay. All right. I am not the greatest in remembering Felicia because I act like I don't know you, but I do. Felicia Perrotin. So, okay, great. So anyway, let's get started. So let me just kind of set the stage for our listeners and people who are watching watching live or who will watch this later. What we're trying to do is just set the stage for our quarterly meetings. Through the Citizens First Congress, we have quarterly meetings. They are either virtual, we rotate since COVID, we rotate with our quarterly meetings being virtual and in person. So our August quarterly meeting, which is Saturday, August the 2nd, will be in person at the state capitol. It starts at 11 o'clock. And our meeting room is the old Supreme Court room. So we're trying to promote that. We are reaching out to our members, people who have been engaged and have fallen along the wayside. Come on home. We need you. It's a lot happening in the nation, a lot happening in the state. So y'all come on back. Even if you're not a member, you can come. If you're an individual and say, hey, I want to get involved, you can come. So let's just talk a little bit about what to expect, okay, on Saturday. So let's just give them some, just kind of your opening thoughts, I guess. Let me hear some quick opening thoughts from both of you about CFC and the work.
Well, I can go ahead and start. So
Yeah.
I actually Citizens First Congress, while AAUW Arkansas has been involved for a number of years, it's probably been since COVID, since I've been really actively involved. And what I really enjoy about it is it's a bunch of grassroots organizations, and we all may have particular issues or causes that we're really focused on. But ultimately, what we're trying to do is make Arkansas a better place for everybody in terms of the work that we're all doing. And it could be anything from an environmental issue to some kind of civil rights issue to we have, Arkansas Advocates for Children and Families are part of us, and there's a whole lot of groups that are part of us. And I enjoy getting to network and meet those individuals and learn about what are the issues happening that people are focused on in our state. And it helps me as an individual, but also as a leader, know, hey, here's some things we needed to be talking about, right? With our groups, with our friends, with our coworkers and whatnot, because we want to make Arkansas a better place. And so I really value these opportunities, such as our quarterly meetings, to come together, whether it's virtually or in person, to see the faces, right? And to kind of just work together, get some synergy going.
Great. And William is William, we call you an OG.
That's right.
William's been around for many years, and we appreciate that. We appreciate that long-term stability kind of leadership. So talk to us, William.
Yeah, I've been around for going on 17 years with the CFC, and I would have to agree with Felicia. This is an opportunity that if you care about your communities, if you care about making changes, and to see what's going on, around the state with all of the organizations. And what you're going to realize is we all fighting for the same cause, and understanding that now there's resources available, because there's power in these numbers, and,
right.
And there's power in the organizing. And so that's why, coming to this is going to, number one, let you get firsthand experience on what we're doing to help better our state, and to also, help better our community. So I would definitely invite anyone that even has a small interest in anything, that's going to be beneficial to communities, grassroots communities, and also, if you work in your communities, come out and join us for this meeting.
That's great. Yeah, and we are, like I said, we're grassroots. We're a grassroots organization. We've been around for a while, and we have, I'm looking at my list, we have right now close to 40 paid member groups around the state of Arkansas. So it's broad. We're not just Central Arkansas, or almost 40 paid CFC member groups around the state of Arkansas. And there's room for more. As a matter of fact, Shape Trees is getting ready to, is preparing for our membership renewal and new members, but for Saturday, when we do our quarterlies, there's no charge, and we provide lunch. So it's going to be a good time. So what we're trying to say, encourage people, it's a good time to connect. That's, I heard that from both William and Felicia. It's a good time to connect because there's so much happening in the nation. There's a lot happening in the state, and we are stronger together. We're stronger together. And so we do want to encourage you all to come out Saturday, August the 2nd. And if you don't know who we are, come learn about who we are and the work we do and join us. We can talk about individual memberships, but there's no charge for any of our, for any of our quarterly meetings. A little bit later, we're going to, as a matter of fact, I'm going to ask, I think Heather or Brady will put in the chat or in the comments how you can register, because we do encourage registration because we provide lunch. That's the reason, because, we don't want to have the problem. We want to prevent any problems from not having enough lunch. So that is why we do encourage people to please register in advance. And I'm going to go ahead and give out the website. I'm going to go ahead and give out the website address. because I can't see the chat, so I don't know if they put it in there yet, but it's www.citizensfirst.org. www.citizensfirst.org. And there's a link that says events, and you can go there and you can register right now for our quarterly. Okay, so let's talk about some of the things. So kind of like agenda items. We've got so one of the big things for us right now is ballot measures. Any of you want to just kind of, we're not getting into the details, but just maybe talk about opportunities to volunteer with the ballot measures.
I mean, I can start, and then when
Yeah.
you want to jump in, that'd be
Yeah,
great.
Go
So,
ahead, go ahead.
yeah. One that we've been actively involved in for actually a couple of years is really focused on education. The For AR Kids is one of the efforts we're doing, which is really kind of looking at what are pieces of the LEARNS Act that we really need to kind of maybe, you know, make some adjustments to, perhaps maybe is the best way to do it, right? Focusing on, the our youth and our like pre-K and that, and summer opportunities, and that. So, but really kind of focused on our young folks, our people in our K through 12. And, that was a ballot measure that we tried to collect signatures for, and unfortunately we did not hit that threshold that we needed to hit, but it's still one we're very committed to. And so I know that we're really going to be gearing up for that quite a bit and starting signature drives and, needing volunteers out there in the field in all of our counties, because, we have a particular, is it 50, I believe, counties we have to have signatures from or something like that. So in order to get it onto the ballot, but, but this kind of ties into direct democracy, right? Because that's probably one of the key pieces for us is, the people rule. That's our state motto and that. And so I think that's one big initiative that we've been really involved in the last couple of years and continue to remain focused on, so we can, work for success in our public education.
Right. Absolutely. Okay, William.
Yeah, I mean, I would have to echo Felicia. Direct democracy is something that is so valuable because, and our founding fathers made sure that we had that instilled in the Constitution. But understanding the power behind direct democracy and why it's such a hot topic right now is playing out right in front of us today. I think that definitely I'm always going to bring it back to coming to our caucus meeting or our meeting on August in August to really get involved with this process, because, just like Felicia was saying, we need volunteers. We want the playing field to be equal in education across the board.
Right.
And so if we all feel that, quality education should be accessible to everyone and everyone playing by the same rules, then, quite naturally, this ballot initiative is going to be very, very important. And getting it out and making sure everyone knows about it is going to be just as important.
I think one of the things, and I actually was talking to Kamir about this earlier, there's so many ways for people to get involved, right? And so many people are doing things in different ways right now, right? So obviously we're seeing a lot of people who are being actively engaged out in the community and in protests, or standing by the courthouse with a sign in front of some of our U.S. congressional representatives' offices with signs and stuff like that. But there's other ways for people to be involved. That might not be everybody's jam, right? Or they're not comfortable with it or whatnot. There's the social media piece. We're going to need people who are active with that. There are people who are wanting to get out there and engage with others in terms of doing petitions at farmers markets or county fairs or stuff like that. Exactly. There might be people want to text, people who want to call people, whatever. So I think there's opportunities for everybody to get involved in whatever way you're comfortable.
Right. So let me share, because we have two ballot measures that we have been working on. So let me just share real quickly with the audience. So you all have mentioned about the education one, which is called For Our Kids. Okay. Yeah, For Our Kids. That's the BQC, or the ballot question committee. That's the name of it. So we are working with that. We'll need volunteers, people who are passionate about education. We will need people, we'll need volunteers to be a part of that one. But we also have Protect Our Rights. Yeah, we have the Protect Our Rights, and it's also a BQC. And with both of these ballot measures, there are member organizations, there are groups. So again, that's the beauty of it. It's a collaboration. Okay, you can't do this in an island. You can't, one or two groups. It's got to be a collaboration. And so there are collaborations with both of these. And with the Protect Our Rights, let me say this about Protect Our Rights, because we're pushing back, and I don't really want to get into the legislative session, so much happened, but just let me say this part. There were a number of laws that were passed during the legislative session that are challenging to us doing this direct democracy work, meaning having the access to the ballot, to get the work. There were a lot of laws passed. There were 13 laws passed that provide hindrance for us to have the access that we need. Some really crazy stuff that we won't get into. But we are pushing back. We, the groups, the caucuses, are pushing back on some of those laws. But we're having to fight. This is the fight for direct democracy, because we don't need the legislators ruling for us. We want the people to rule. And Felicia, you've already mentioned that. Our motto in Arkansas is "the people rule," and so we want to make sure the people will continue to rule. So anyway, we got the two campaigns. I just want to make sure everybody understands: For Our Kids and the Protect Our Rights. Now, there's websites. There's a website, and I'm gonna ask, like I said, I think Heather or either Brady are putting it in the comments or in the chat, that the website and I've got the one for Protect Our Rights. Is www.protectourrights.org. So check in the comments so you all can see that and get involved. We've got phenomenal websites with all the information. We got one pagers. We've got frequently asked questions. So we're going to be talking about this August the 2nd. This is a big part of our agenda, and we're going to talk about it. But then there's also going to be opportunities for volunteerism and advocacy. So that's what we're trying to promote, is come. We're not just going to talk about the problems. We got some solutions, but we need to get you there. We need to get you there. We need to get you in the building, and we need to talk about it, okay? But we are going to talk about solutions and how you can get involved.
And Mayor, I think it's probably that important, because some people may not feel comfortable. They might not know, how far some of this legislation has went, as far as trying to silence our direct democracy, our direct democracy.
Yeah.
So, if you need clarity,
yeah,
if you want clarity on what direct democracy is and how important it is, and the attack on direct democracy, then please be there on August.
Right. And also, let me share this with you. Every year, not every year, every other year, after the legislature, we put out Citizens First Congress this really nice vote guide. So This is a guide that can be used in our advocacy work. What it does, it shows how every legislator voted on key issues that we follow. It's not every vote they took, but it's just on some key votes on issues that our caucus voted to watch or whatever. So this is really good because, like I said, it gives you every legislator, and we do a summary of each of our caucuses. We do bill descriptions. This is very, very thorough. Okay. Now, we don't have, you can go to the website. Please go to the website. It's in the chat, and you can get a digital copy of this. Okay. It's there for you to use. This is how we let our voice be heard. We contact our legislators. Okay. And we tell them, I wanted to say a piece of our mind, but we do give a piece of our mind, but
we can do that in a nice way.
Yeah, that's what I say, in a nice way, because this shows how they already voted. But and we do that during the session now. Don't get me wrong, and it's kind of year round. There are times that are more intense, but we have different type of advocacy going on even outside of the legislative session. But this is it's a legislative vote guide. And so please go check it out. You can request a printed copy. There is a small donation, but you'll see it when you go to the link. Okay?
Tamir, I call that accountability.
Accountability.
I call that accountability,
That's the actual word.
Because there are times when, especially if you're trying to contact your legislator, and sometimes their memory is not as good as it should be as far as that you vote on a particular item, or how did you direct your path, and you can always be like, well, let me show you something. I know,
right.
So that accountability piece is very, very important.
Exactly. Yeah, I like that. It is definitely an accountability guide. So, and then let's talk about our youth. So what we're doing, and I want both of you to talk about just the importance of getting young people involved. But while you think about that, I want to say, we are making space for young people at this quarterly meeting on August the 2nd. So you all, and I'm sure young people are not watching this. But if you have children and grandchildren, nieces and nephews who you want to be at the table, bring them, because Osiris Bali, who's our racial equity coordinator, is working on an agenda for the young people. We are doing some strategic planning here at the panel anyway around, putting together some youth stuff. But we thought with everything going on, let's do this August the 2nd. So we are making space for our young people. And Osiris has confirmed for Rhonda Brasfield, who's a local attorney here who we know and love. She's been working in this space for many years. She used to be a part of to abolish the death penalty, the coalition to abolish the death penalty, and other organizations. But that's where I met her, when she was on that coalition. And so she's a part of us, and we know her. And so it's going to be a real treat for our young people to hear from her. But then we want to hear from the young people. And so this is just the beginning. Because we've got some big plans and big ideas for our youth. So let me hear from both of you, just kind of encouraging youth about the importance of youth voices.
I think, understanding that what's happening today is going to affect them down the road. And for them to, for our youth to be involved in understanding what, the process is, understanding, that when they are our age, things that happened in 2025,
Mm-hmm.
Social Security, Medicaid, just to
Yeah.
name a few, you know, and understanding that now they're both, especially when they turn 18, how critical,
Mm-hmm.
of a role they play in moving our government.
Right. Right.
I,
Absolutely.
I would echo everything William said. And, I personally work in higher education. And so I have
Yeah.
always been an encourager of getting our students registered to vote, right? And understanding that they're a part of our larger community. And particularly, a lot of times people just think about, oh, I got to get registered to vote so I can vote for president. But it goes beyond that, right?
Right.
You're looking at your school boards, your city councils, your quorum courts, justice of the peace, whatever. And so really understanding how national politics is important, but you know what? It's that local and that state
Right.
and regional that we have to be engaged in and educated on. And I think our youth are going to save us. I truly believe that. But
Yeah.
we have to get them. We have to really talk with them about why it's important to be
Mm-hmm.
engaged, right?
Right.
What the power of community. And I don't know that they teach civics anymore in school like we
Oh.
had when we were in school,
Yeah.
but I love learning civics and government and
Yeah.
our role and that. And I don't know it's taught in the same way or really empowering students. I mean, when I was at 18, the day after I turned 18, I went to my history teacher who had a voter registration card, and I signed
Yeah.
it up. So
Yeah. I
I have
did too.
voted. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Because
And hadn't missed an election.
yes, absolutely, right. And so I think that's so critical. And I think if we start talking to young people at an early age, we know Arkansas has low voter turnout and
Yep.
are probably least educated in terms of some of our issues that we
Right.
have facing our
Right.
state and our communities. Let's start those conversations now so people
Mhm.
understand, right?
Absolutely.
Before they turn 65 and they're like, I need Medicaid,
Right.
it's not there, right?
Right. 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 So that's great. So and so just kind of piggybacking off of both of you mentioned Medicaid. So also one of our agenda items we want to spend a little time talking about and I always struggle how to say the name of this bill because I don't like the name uh, of the president's bill. He calls it the big beautiful bill, but it's not so beautiful because of all of the cuts and attacks to social programs and Medicaid and SNAP and the impact on rural hospitals. It's just going to be really challenging. However, that's it's important, although the bill has passed, it's important that we talk about it, that we know the timelines, and that but I want people to understand we can still do advocacy around that. And so we're going to talk about some of that on August the 2nd. And let me say, there is a rally that the public policy panel that we are hosting on tomorrow at 10 a.m. at Fletcher Library. Oh, I don't have the information with me. Um, but it's at 10 a.m. It's a town hall in the morning at 10 a.m. at Fletcher Public Library in Little Rock. And so uh, it's a town hall to talk about the impacts to Arkansas, but also how to advocate. And I know people are saying, well, we don't want to come talk about the problem, but you still got to understand the cuts and then understand what is it that we can do to advocate. Because there's still a lot of things we can do at the state level. You understand? At the state level to advocate for certain things. So there are things we can still do, but we gotta learn what they are. So we're gonna talk about that. That's gonna be so we're gonna have a full agenda on August the 2nd. We're gonna have a full agenda. But we want to allow time for people to share what's on their minds, what they're and just like I said, solution. We do want to be solution driven. So
And I think for that Families First Town Hall, isn't there a Zoom link for that as well? So
well,
people are in Central Arkansas?
yes.
Okay.
There is a Zoom link. So let me add, so let me say this to Heather and Brady, who's monitoring the chat. If there's something you can put in there, because there is a Zoom link where people can watch, where you can watch it. So I'm gonna ask them to put that in the chat or in the comments now, and that way people can have access to it. So, but it's really important that we know the information and that we can respond. Because there are going to be some opportunities. We'll be able to lobby, do advocacy work around, for the governor, for our legislators, or what have you. So, plenty of opportunities to be empowered to take action. So. Well, this is great. This has been great. You all have anything else you all want to talk about, or because I don't have anything else. Just
Well, I think just the most important piece of this is, this affects us,
mm-hmm.
and understanding that you don't want to wait until you're affected to say, "Well, I knew about this, but now I feel it."
Yeah, there you go.
I can't go to the doctor anymore. I can't, receive my benefits or my services anymore.
Yeah.
And I heard about it, but now this is the time for you to really get engaged. This is the time for you to really understand that the nature of what's going on and the future and the future that we're headed to. So, this is your opportunity. I would love to see some new faces on August 2nd.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I think the other thing too, people, if they want to know what groups are involved with Citizens First Congress, I believe our member groups, aren't they listed on
the website? Yeah.
So you can go look and see. Yeah, and go see who's involved, or how can I get engaged with them in my local community if I'm close to them, right? So, and so I think, I think the power piece is really strong in terms of groups talking and really, just educating one another, but inspiring one another. We every 2 years we have our state convention, and last June, not this year, but last June, we had an in-person state convention, first one since COVID, which was really exciting. And the synergy I saw there and the power that was generated. Again, period poverty is a big issue for me, and just educating our other members of CFC on that. And people were like, I never knew. Kamara, you told me that. I had no idea, right? The energy I saw, because one of our AEW Arkansas members runs a nonprofit that is focused on getting period supplies out into all over Arkansas. And the connection she made, that people were like, I did not know about this. How can I get involved? What can we do? Can you come to our city? Was so amazing. And, it just always makes me go back to that Margaret Mead quote, which is never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world indeed. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has.
Awesome.
Right? Awesome. And so that's what we're about.
That's right. That's all. And that's who we are, y'all. We know organized people have power, and there's strength in numbers. Organized people have power. And that's what we do. We organize grassroots groups from all across the state of Arkansas. And so, go to the website to learn more about who we are, what we do, the work we're doing, and plug in, get connected. And if you're not connected to us, get plugged in with some group. It's just so important right now in this time in history that you are plugged in with people, with groups who are doing the work, who are in the trenches. So important. Awesome.
I promise you, if you plugged in with a grassroots organization somewhere, CFC is going to be somewhere. So
I will
exactly.
trenches.
Exactly. We're going to be in the trenches.
Well, I'm excited, y'all. I'm excited about August the 2nd. It's going to be a great meeting. I'm hyped. I feel good about it. I'm so excited to have, and let me say this on the young people. So they're doing a video today and they're going to post it on YouTube. Not YouTube. Where's TikTok, where the young people are. They're gonna post it on TikTok. Now they're gonna post it on, Facebook and Instagram as well. But so for a whole week we're gonna be promoting about the young people because, like I said, don't think it was an afterthought. It's just like let's start now. Let's don't wait till the next quarterly. Let's start now. And so we're gonna be pushing young folks. Uh, come. There's going to be a place to stay for you.
Well, since Special Congress, thanks to Heather, we have a great presence on social media.
Yes,
so
that.
Instagram, Facebook, get on the TikTok, whatever.
Exactly.
They're out there. I mean, during the legislative session, she was posting stuff crazy, all kinds of great stuff.
I don't know how she kept up.
Hey, and I kept hitting share on the Instagram, right?
Yeah, our comms department is a department of one, and she is doing the thing. So shout out to her and to all the team, because I tell you, it takes a full team to power this ship over here. So yeah, we are grateful. So thanks to all of you for joining us. I don't think we got any questions because I'm checking my phone. I had no. Okay, yeah, she said Families First Town Hall will be streamed live on Facebook tomorrow. So you can go to the Arkansas Public Policy Panel Facebook, okay? So we were talking about a link. No, go to the Facebook. No link. Go to our Facebook page and it's streamed live. So if you can't catch it at 10, you can watch it later. It'll be on our Facebook. So that's great. That's great. So we know we're going to see some new folks, and we're going to see, we calling y'all home that's been gone for a while. Y'all come on back home. Y'all come on back home. You were a member, you've been gone, or things happen, man. Life happens, life be lifing, stuff comes up. But let me tell you, we're going to welcome you with open arms, just like the pastor do on Sunday mornings. They welcome you. Come on home.
It's time to go to work. It's
time to go to work. Time to go to work.
Roll those sleeves up and let's do it, right?
Let's do it. Let's do it. It's folks depending on us. So, all right, guys. Well, that's it for this webinar. Thank you both for taking time out of your busy schedules to do this today. And like I said, we're excited and we're looking forward to seeing everybody on August 2nd. All right.
Hope to see everybody there.
All right. Thanks.